Let's go over to, we will start with the Xbox Series X and S impressions since we basically already started talking about it, MVG, a bit.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that, and then we'll go to the Nintendo Switch sales before going over to some of the super chats there as well. So the Series S, MVG, you picked it up. You did a teardown on it. You haven't posted all your stuff about that. I did a teardown on the X. I haven't posted that yet either. I can tell you, though, the X is built very, very well inside, and I'm very surprised that it's $500 right now after seeing what's in it. So it's a solid piece of machinery.
Yeah, the S is very similar. I think it's been meticulously engineered and well put together. It's I think it'll surprise some people when they see the teardown how well it's been basically engineered. Like you can tell, and I'm sure the X is very similar, John, but they've like made every possible concession to dampen that sound. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, there's like padding everywhere. There's like foam here and like every screw has like a foam kind of inlay, so it doesn't vibrate against the metal case, and it doesn't make any noise. And obviously the fan and the heatsink are just way ridiculously large, compared to previous generations.
Yeah, even that S, because you posted a picture of it, was huge. The X heatsink is massive. It is even larger than Xbox One X heatsink, and that was big. So it is like, it's not quite as large as what the PS5 has, but it's close, and it's a full vapor chamber, so it is like super heavy when you pick it up. That's what most of the weight is. That, and they put a big aluminum block in there too, where all the boards kind of get screwed into. So it is solid overall, I'll say. But the system itself, because before we couldn't talk about any of the software, anything, is super fast. That's like the best thing I could say right now. Even though we're playing the same games, everything, the menu is fast. I think download speeds are even faster. I don't know if that's just my imagination on it.
No, they are absolutely faster.
I don't know if they started opening up on their side to like push more data through, or I don't know, or maybe the SSD itself is helping with that. I'm not sure, but for some reason it downloads faster than the One X, just outright, which is good to see. But that's the biggest thing I can say, because when I have the quick resume thing on, it doesn't work all the time for me.
Yeah, it's still a little buggy though, right? Like, well, I don't want to say buggy, but it's still a pre-beta. They're still
patching it, and I noticed this because I keep getting patches here and there for it, and all of a sudden one will work, and that's fine. They keep doing that, and they even kind of mentioned that, like, here's some good ones that we know work now. Patches are coming, so I think day one, so Tuesday, I think there will probably be a big patch that gets pushed anyway. So like that's why I was like, okay, quick resume's cool, but it really only saves me like 5 seconds maybe, because the system's already fast opening things up as it is, and a lot of their games rely on internet connection for like live service style games, right? Like CFE stuff. You're not really quick resuming back into that, is what I've noticed, because if you drop out of it, it disconnects me from the server.
All right, so let's get serious. Would you recommend a Series S or an X to someone, assuming they were available on Tuesday, that you could go to a store and pick one up? Would you recommend one on Tuesday?
Like to actually go buy one? Good question. Okay, so for Nate, I would say yes, because that VCR needs to go. I think if you have a One X right now, I feel like you could hold out for a couple of months, to be honest. Mostly because the medium got pushed. It's not coming out in December anymore. It's coming out next year now. So like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't really know if you need it right. Like if Halo Infinite had come out and it was like, look, this game is gonna show you what the system can do and all this stuff, I've been like, yeah, I mean, maybe you should get it for that. But like we're trying to just get the next gen patch for Watch Dogs working right now, and it just broke the whole system. So it broke the whole game, not the system, but like I can't play it. So like for me, I'm like, you know what? If you can't just get one, like maybe you're thinking, oh, hey, if I come across one, cool. But I don't know if I would like run through a wall to go find one of these or something right now. Because there's nothing really that would be pushing me unless I'm upgrading from an S. If you're upgrading from a One S or an original Xbox, you've had this whole generation, then I would, because to be honest, that VCR is probably going to die soon anyway with that mechanical hard drive. So, I mean, dude, that hard drive is 7 years old at this point. Like, yeah, how many more writes do you think that thing has in it?
I agree with you. I do think though, if you have invested in the Xbox ecosystem and you have a large back catalog of games, there is value in picking up a new system, because you get immediate benefits of those old games, and some of them will play in ways you've never experienced before. whether that's increased resolution, increased frame rates, like games like Sekiro and Final Fantasy 15. GTA 4 is another big one, and there are, games that are getting patched. But I agree with you for the most part. I mean, like, as far as next gen Xbox Series X titles, right now there's not really that much. We're getting some patches on Tuesday, but like today, John, I mean, we can't play Watch Dogs. We haven't seen Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, they still haven't let us play. We have it. It's just it's not unlocked. So I'm like, that would have been a game. That's supposed to be 4K 60. I would love to be talking about that and showing it, but like, I can't right now. I don't know.
The medium got pushed. Tetris Effect isn't it's not working for me at least. I mean, it's probably going to go live on Tuesday. It just seems like and again, I mentioned this before. Everything is just coming in so hot right now, and this is another one of those things. Hardware's great. The software side needs a lot of work, I think.
Let me ask y'all a really specific question. So obviously I have mine pre-ordered. I have a year of Games Pass paid off already. Would you recommend this as a Games Pass machine? Say it's somebody who hasn't played the last couple Halos or never tried Fable.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Like it's good. The back compat, is that awesome?
Like the back compat's amazing. Yeah. It has all the games work on the one work on this, and it has auto HDR. So if you have a nice TV that has access to HDR, that's good. You'll see that kind of dropped into some of these Xbox 360 games and stuff too, which is interesting. To see that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Hell yeah. I don't regret.
And you have Max. You have fast internet as well. So
I have Google Fiber. So my plan is day one because I'm going to pick it up as soon as I can Tuesday, and then my plan is just install just tons of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. You'll be happy with the experience.
And if you're like a competitive Gears player, like Gears of War is 120 frames per second in multiplayer.
It is just a shame that there's really nothing compelling next gen for the system, especially when you compare it to Sony that will come next week with Miles Morales and Demon Souls.
And then it sounds like they're gearing up for an early to have some games ready to go first half of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like I'm trying to figure. When do you think the next like big Xbox game is coming out first party?
Probably Psychonauts 2, maybe. I mean, Nate, what do you got as far as what's coming for Microsoft or for Xbox?
I mean, first party wise, we're probably looking at a Psychonauts. But we've known since the summer, Microsoft's 2021 is really going to be scarce in terms of first party output. Microsoft hits their stride late 2021, early 2022. That's when their studios will start to deliver all those projects they've been working on. I mean, we're at a maybe best case scenario, we might see the Initiatives game before this year concludes, and that should excite some people.
I think that's Microsoft Game Awards.
Really, it could be the Game Awards. We finally see the game. But Microsoft needs another 12 months for their first parties to really get on board and start delivering the games, whereas Sony they're going to be right there. And I said it early this summer, everything we saw from Sony at their PlayStation 5 event is 2021 for the most part, aside from, things like the Square Enix project. All those games are next year. So you're looking at Gran Turismo, God of War, Horizon.
Final Fantasy.
Sony's coming out very strong. They're basically mimicking what Nintendo did in 2017. They're bringing their franchises right out the door to their new system. And Microsoft just has to survive the next 15 months.
That's a shame because the hardware is really good. So it's like they show up with this really cool car and they don't have any roads to drive on with it.
Yeah, I think the medium really, obviously Halo is devastating, and just the void, you can feel it, right? You can feel that void that Halo is not here. It's on the box. It's Master Chief's.
Master Chief's helmet is on the power supply, and he's on the fan in the Series X. It's the first thing you see.
They were 100% a go to launch Halo Infinite, and to get that taken away, I think is really, really hurting them.
343's messing up over here.
Yeah, it is a shame. But to Nate's point, I mean, I agree. I think they'll hit their stride, but they need a little bit of time. I mean, the hardware is excellent. There's no faulting the hardware. The hardware is great. The software side really just needs a little bit more time to catch up.
Jordan just heard 343 and is just compelled to speak immediately. That's your favorite studio, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think if Halo Infinite was there, it'd be easier to make a case for it. It'd be like, yeah, I mean, Halo Infinite's it's 4K 60. They have ray tracing and they're all this cool stuff. It runs better on it than like the One or the One X. So yeah, you should jump ahead to that. But there's not much to buy alongside it. Yakuza Like a Dragon, that's next gen exclusive, I guess, until what, March, I think, is when it shows up on the PS5. So I don't know. It is a shame. But I guess if you want another Xbox, you know what? That Series S isn't a bad idea for like a second room or something. So there you go.
Yeah. Good living room system, I think, would be the place, most people would consider having it. But I mean, look, for the person that just wants to play FIFA and games like that, some of the live service games, it's an awesome system.
It's a good Fortnite box. There you go.
It's a great. I mean, if you don't care about 4K, but you still want a really fast frame rate and you want fast SSD, it's
it's a real shame. I think both of these systems, that'd be the Series X and the PS5, would feel way more significant if we didn't have those mid-gen refresh systems.
You think? Yeah, because then we have a bigger leap.
Oh my gosh, going from the PS4 to the PS5 or the Xbox. Even if it was just the One S, and we got like the PS4 Slim and then the One S, so basically the slim Xbox One, it would have been a massive jump from that system to the Series X. But I feel like these mid-gen refreshes kind of pulled some of the hype away from these new systems because of that, just a bit.
I would say a little bit. Well, because you have super high quality games on Xbox One X. Like, I mean, if you play Xbox One X is still really good. The games look fantastic on there. Like, it looks significantly better than like the VCR or even the S with some games. Some games that are optimized for the Xbox One X. So yeah, I have to agree. That's why I'm like, unless you're like really hardcore into like the hype and maybe playing backwards compatibility, like you said, maybe you can hold out. Like to answer the question in terms of like because like I've gotten that question quite a bit. Like, should you go out there and buy it? If you wait, guys, you always get amazing deals.
I think they're going to hit us with a Halo Infinite Special Edition system too, and that's going to annoy me.
And then do you guys remember like Sony's Black Friday bundles are like legendary?
Yeah,
they'll give you like
they put Spider-Man with that PS4 Slim, and it was like $200 at GameStop.
Yeah,
something crazy.
Legendary bundles if you wait a couple years. So I mean, I'm not saying that you have to or anything like that. Like if you're excited, go out there, enjoy it and all that. But as content creators, like obviously we're gonna get everything, but like as like just regular consumers, like you might want to wait a little bit. And not only will you get cheaper games, but then you'll get the bundled games in with them. You'll be able to get more, you'll be able to get more years of PSN or whatever. So, I mean, it's an interesting thing, But, like, if you're super excited, go out there and get it. But, I mean, the Xbox, it seems like you can wait maybe a little bit more for the Xbox.
I think next holiday, I think next holiday is going to be the year, like the time to really get into the Xbox Series X, to really pick one up. At that time, it's just it just launched before any of the software was ready, so it's unfortunate.
I do question whether developers will continue, I'll say, optimizing for the Series S, because like right now there are some things that run really well. Whether they continue to do that or they just kind of make it, just basically take whatever the 1S version of the game is and just kind of transfer it to the Series S, if that makes sense.
It's probably going to depend on how well it sells. I mean, you'd think it would sell well because it's $300 as opposed to $500, and people in stores will just be like, yeah, I'll take the cheaper one. But if that happens and the install base gets pretty large, then yeah, I could see that where they're like, well, we might as well develop specifically for it because everyone's buying it.
Yeah.
But
do you think it'll fall into that gap where do you remember that we all remember that weird thing that happened, which is where when the PlayStation 4 Slim came out and the old PS4 got discontinued, there was like a new group of people of like, okay, they made a cheap PS4 finally, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
You think the S will become that? Series S might become that?
It's possible. It's very possible. It could end up that way. We'll see. We'll see how the next 12 months
also
goes.
There's a chance that in like 2 years maybe you could see a 1X that doesn't have a disk drive. That's possible.
Yeah.
So, maybe drop that down in front. I'm telling you, that's where we're going. That's where. Hey, look at that PS5 disc unit. That thing was an afterthought.
Keep talking, John, and I'll keep doing. I'll do that the whole time. You kick me out.
Mute his mic. This is a debate now. Mute that man.
The PS5 all digital was the original PS5.
So I have another question. Do you think that it's misleading advertising to say that it has a 1 terabyte drive when you only have 850 gigabytes available or 360 gigabytes available.
No, because I just bought a 1 terabyte SSD the other day and I didn't get that full 1 terabyte.
Yeah, you never get a full anything of any hard drive or micro SD.
But you're getting way less now. I mean, in the past, you would like if you got a 1 terabyte drive, you might get like 420 or something, right?
Yeah, that Series S, man, coming in at, what was it, 364?
Yeah, and because now they've obviously had to reserve space for things like quick resume and some of these advanced, SSD features, which you cannot disable. So you'll never get that space back unless Microsoft does decide to.
I kind of want to disable quicker. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to save that, get that space back. Just to be honest,
it would be nice.
How much space is it? How much space is it?
It's probably using a sizable amount.
100 gigabytes.
It's probably 100.
Yeah.
Damn, 100 gigabytes for
it's got to be on the X because I get just over 800 gigabytes on the X when you turn it on before you install anything. So like 150 went missing basically. So yeah,
dang, bro. That's a lot of space. But
yeah,
I mean, whatever.
Well, you can buy the memory sticks, only $220.
Only.
Yep.
They should put the games on the memory sticks. That's what they should do.
Oh, dude, you know how expensive that thing would be?
Why? Why would it
be? Like they sell you a USB? You buy a box.
I was talking about. I was like, they should make the games on like super cool tech, like make new tech.
But John, you're assuming it's a 1 terabyte drive. I mean, what if they just put the game on like
we're still trying to get 64 gigabyte Switch carts over here, man.
Right.
What if they just put it on like a 64 gigabyte?
We can't even get that on the Switch. The Switch ones cost them too much money.
Oh boy!
That's why you got to start now and then build your way up.
I bet Spawnwave comes out with a video like next week that he hacks up an expansion card with a SSD he bought from Micro Center. I can see it now.
You never know. Could happen.
I doubled my Series X hard drive for $9, and it's you doing this.
Hey, there's some adapters hitting the market now. People trying to wire up their own memory cards.
See? It's already happening.